29th. I just wanted to speak to the commentary, or create a commentary. Chapter 51, Episode 9, Healing My Confusion About Noah. It's only 7 minutes, so I'm going to attach that one to here. And I'll let you know when this little snippet is done so you can end it or keep watching if you want to rehash that video. So in that one, I'm talking about the realization that I have about my emotions and if I'm settling with just having the dreams about him versus having him in front of me. And if I should be upset about it. And not just that, but the fact that I was trying to move on and then the dreams pop back up. Where, so it's one of those conflicting situations where, if my dreams were guiding me a certain way, and then it's like almost like a stop through that process. And clearly I was still healing. I am still healing. I'm not done, clearly. And also the awareness that I have now that, my anger was delayed purposefully, right? It needed to be delayed for what came next. Because I'm feeling the anger now. And it did dissipate. It came back a little bit yesterday. And really, for those of you that don't know, anger is just covering up sadness, So, just having that realization that I'm still hurt. Not as much. It's very little. But this morning I woke up more with, again, it keeps swaying back, from anger and sadness to appreciation and gratitude. So I know I'm getting closer and closer to shifting that emotional experience completely. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. to where it could just be neutral. But I was reflecting not just on that video, but also in the book, and just even that, I talk about how I'm confused, right? There's so much confusion, and now there's much more clarity about his purpose in my life, and what was evoked with the brief interaction that we had, and the awareness that confirmation that I'm receiving, right? That, he is my twin flame, but I'm also his platonic. And so there's no more confusion about that, for me personally. And it's I mean, it is what it is, right? But then the realization too, with that course that I'm putting together about finding the one, and realizing this morning, reminding myself that it's not, the thing is that everyone you meet is the one for you because of where you're at and what you're attracting, and the fact that they mirror back to you the one that you're supposed to pay attention to, which is you, right? That's the most important relationship of all, is the one you have with yourself. And so when you get into relationships and get triggered, it's there, that person, wherever you are in your journey, is meant for you because of that trigger, for that trigger to reflect back to you the one that you're supposed to focus on, which is you. So this idea of finding the one it goes back to you going back to you, right? And it's not the answer that a lot of people want to find or accept, rather, but it's the truth. I had a client a few days ago she's doing so well. She's focusing on her self-care. I mean, I've mentioned that I see myself in my clients where I was on my journey. And so she's in the middle of focusing her attention more on herself. She would overgive. She would yes, please. She would transform herself and lose herself in relationships just to please them. She would jump in too quickly, right? Like, check. And so she was started off the session, I feel great. And then she got to a point where it was, but I'm worried that I'm not going to do well in relationships with other people because I can't seem to hold on to a relationship. So I reminded her, I said, here's the thing, like, you'll never work backwards. You won't go backwards. If you're aware of it, you won't go backwards. You'll feel your way through it, and you'll remember, oh, I'm swaying to yes pleasing. Oh, I'm losing myself, right? And it's just nudging you, if you know how to listen. And so then I reminded her, I was just like, you're working on the most important relationship of all, which is you. And, we're in alignment with, belief systems again, where it's law of attraction, energy, she listens to Abraham Hicks, like, it's very much in alignment. So I mentioned and reminded her, I said, you believe this, remember the law of attraction, remember this. And so the more you work on you, the more you'll attract where you are, the more that person is the one for you until you level up, right? Or until you find someone that is, where both of you are putting in the effort in to sustain that relationship, to work on that relationship. Knowing that you can always change your mind if something doesn't work out or if the other person isn't matching where you're at. And so, and she reminded her, she's like, that's right, and then she's like, the more I work on myself, the more I feel good about myself. So I reflected on that this morning in this awareness that, the one is every person that you come across, right? So as I was reading this, Leo North Node people, the gifts that we bring to the relationship, but I was looking at more of, for I guess, Leo North Node people and North Node in the 5th house. Anybody who has a North Node in the 5th house, which I don't, but it's more the energy of Leo in the North Node. What we're here to learn is to maintain or gain greater balance by learning to follow our heart and not just our head, because we're so busy being practical that we don't listen to our heart. So then what ends up happening is we get into relationships and it just, if we don't know how to find the passion or create the passion ourselves, then the situation gets boring. And then we start complaining about other people in our relationships that they don't follow their heart and take risks. They withhold emotional passion. They aren't generous, they're distracted all the time. They go for quick fixes to resolve emotional disturbances. So anyways, the things that stood out most for me is that this lifetime is supposed to be a personal lifetime for us, a life of passion. And so and we're supposed to create it for ourselves versus waiting for someone else to create that sense of passion. And I think what continued to stand out for me was the part about who that person would be, right? For me, because if this lifetime I'm supposed to exercise my creativity, I don't need to know what the big picture is. I have to stay present in the moment, stay grounded, create my passion in excitement, being grounded, being, in immersing myself in this moment. And then it even talked about the fear of commitment, the fear of entrapment. And it says that the fear that if we become totally involved and start on one path, then that means we have to be with that person forever, when that's not true. And so there's this feeling like you're stuck, you're trapped, and no creativity, no change, which was, one of my issues in my marriage. And but the catch-22 is that they fear if they become totally involved, they'll be trapped, when just the opposite is true. It is only when they do become totally involved with that their creative vitality is evoked and they truly enjoy their experiences. If they are not totally involved, then they are likely to just go along with what other people want, because the creative force of their own individuality hasn't been sparked. So it's this element of staying in the present moment, staying grounded, creating your reality with that person. And the person, it's funny, it says the challenge is for us to envision what we want to create and just put it out there, and then see who shows up that triggers that vitality, and that is the person with whom they can build a passionate and satisfying life. So I thought about that, about just putting something out there and seeing, right, who it evokes, who it triggers. And so then I thought about this journey for me, and this awareness of what evoked all this for me, what evoked the passion for life. And it was every single person. It was every single person on my path that contributed to some degree. But really, if I'm being honest, over the past 2 years, it's this one person keeps coming back, and it's the person that evoked that heart experience for me. The painting, that painting. So I just wanted to thank you again. Thank you again, Jose Jesus Cisneros, breaker of rules and constructs, artist and thinker at heart. Thank you. Thank you for your painting. Thank you for being my muse. Thank you for this healing journey. Just thank you for reflecting back to me, what I needed to work on, what I needed to heal more recently, right? More intensely. Again, for just helping me return to me, helping me remember that I am the one for me. I am the one that can provide stability for me, safety for me, passion for me. I can create it wherever I go. But you have been that muse for me. And your art has been very inspiring. So thank you. That's it. I'll add the other video, and for those who want to keep, rehashing the past. But that's it for now. Okay. I just wanted to add the reason why I'm the reason why I keep thanking you. The reason why I keep thanking you is because you keep highlighting to me what is needing my attention. Even though I'm angry about it, even though it triggers me, I am grateful. I must still value your opinion, the dream that I had of you, that you were looking for something wrong with me. We were sitting at a counter and you were looking at my legs. You were looking at my legs because they were hairy. And I just remember this like this frustration. But again, you're reflecting back to me what I'm still needing to work on in terms of accepting that part of myself, which is what triggered me to post that other video about the hair factor. So for whatever reason, right, I don't know you, but my higher self is using you in my dreams to highlight back to me, reflect back to me what I'm still needing to work on within myself. I mean, aside from everybody else, right? Even this fire sign from my past, everybody has reflected back to me to some degree something that is still needing my attention. But for whatever reason, you continue to be predominantly the one that shows up in my dreams to highlight that back at a different intensity. So, you know, so that awareness, right? It's not confusion anymore. I understand why, and I'm accepting it, and I'm listening to it. That's the difference. I'm listening to it now versus trying to push it away. That's been the theme this morning with my clients, is this awareness, right? Of how everybody in my life reflects back to me something that is needing my attention. And if I try to push it away, I'm only going to make it louder. It's only going to scream at me. The more I push it away, the more I attract it. The more discomfort I will feel with the ruminating thoughts or the stuckness, right? That the opposing over and over and over and over again. And stuckness. I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. Because I'm not accepting of where I am right now. Who I am, the parts of myself. So I just wanted to add that little bit. That's all. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and you will see what else comes next for me.